basically what the plan is going to be is that I'm going to load all the raw iron, I guess, and we're going to make a bunch of, raw iron so that I can take that up to the ironworks because I need some more pipes so I can go to the oil field and refinery. I need to make sure that I can fill those two up, and then after that, we'll see about maybe loading some raw iron and taking that back with us. But I would have to drop these cars off in a spot that I have, where it won't really matter. So I hope this will all work out, but I don't know. So basically, once I get all the cars loaded up here, I do believe that the old rolling stock, I think, can hold like 10 or so. I can't remember. It might be 10 or it might be more than that. I can't remember, but we're going to take these new cars and the old cars, or the one old car that I have, and we're basically going to load them all up, and then we're hopefully going to get off this mountain easily and not, break anything, but we should have the last car loaded here in a couple minutes. It's always like, the small ones don't take long to fill. It's always the big cars always take the longest to fill. So once we get to that big car, which isn't going to take very, very long, hopefully everything will be fine. We won't have to worry about anything and nothing happens. Hopefully no derailments, because I don't know on the side of the mountain if I feel like, I'd have to place probably down like a telegraph office or something just to get my car probably up off of the bottom of the mountain. So I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll find out. Okay, so we basically got most of, it loaded so far. Got, we'll have a bunch more loaded, but we had to also build up our fire too. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this engine to actually start building more steam as it sits, because I'm still going to have to load all these other cars. So while I'm loading, the cars, I can just wait for that to build, and then it should be okay. And then I don't have to, have anything bad happen, for example. But who knows? I mean, it could work, it could not work. I just, want to get all this raw iron back so that I can actually start making some. So then I can actually make some money. Okay, so we got pretty close to where I wanted. Like we got, this will be the third one being loaded right now. This is gonna, so yeah, we have 4 of the new cars that were added, and we have 1 of the old ones. So we should have more than enough to get by with, I think, for now. I just don't know if we're gonna be, I might switch some of these out at some point, like if we're having to do the coal towers or something like that, because I think we're still gonna need the bottom dump unless we can use the smaller cars to actually load those. I don't know if we can or not. There we go. Now I can walk in, maybe not, who knows. But yeah, that's my whole theory. And then I gotta bring a whole bunch more lumber and beams back up here. I don't know, I might do that off camera though. And just load it full of lumber and beams, and just so that next time we can have a bunch of raw iron to take, from the smelter. But then I'll have to fill the smelter again with core wood. Ugh. It's just gonna require me running a bunch of trains. I wish I could send the, well, I could probably use the Betsy, probably, for the core wood. It's only, what, 1 or 2 cars? I think it can do 1 or 2 cars. Something like that. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. Only 2 more cars left to go, though, and then we'll be fully loaded and out of here. So, hopefully it doesn't take too long. Okay, so pretty much, this is going to be pretty much an experiment, because I have never taken any of the older stock only these newer cars up here, so I have no idea if these will fit or not down any of these tracks, or what will happen. I literally don't. I wish I did, but I don't. So, with that being said, it's going to be, what's the actual load going to, entail going backwards? Are we going to have to ride the brake the whole time? Which probably we will have to. But then once everything's, loaded at that point, then we should be okay, I would imagine. But, it's just, I'm hoping that once this whole thing is loaded, I actually know how much everything weighs, and then I can base my next train off of that. Hopefully I can get a train that isn't going to be, like, so bad, like where it's, going to try to bog down on every hill. This train sometimes does, and I don't know why. So yeah, I have to find a more powerful train. And I haven't figured out what train I'm gonna use yet, or anything, so I'm kind of leaning towards maybe, I don't know, maybe looking at like a bigger engine, bigger than the one that I have right now. Maybe coal fire, maybe wood, it ain't gonna matter to me. I don't really care either way, but might try to go for another coal fire one, but I haven't made the decision on what I want to do there yet, so we'll find out, like, if that will work or not. But anyway, that should about do it. We got one more car to load, and then we're out. Okay, so we pretty much got that figured out. Just gotta get this last car up there, which is the big one, I do believe. That would be the only car I think that I haven't loaded yet. And yeah, once we get that loaded, we'll get the heck out of here. At least see what we can get, I'm hoping that I can, get enough out of here to actually make a bunch of raw iron. But, yeah, it'll be alright. It just, I thought that I could, I just had to hop and jump, but I thought I could just, look through the side, but I could also do it this way, I guess, too. And then stand on the side. I forget that I can do that. So that's my bad. That was my bad. And I'll agree with that. But I didn't know that you could still stand on the side. But I still need a heck of a lot of raw iron to, even make a lot more pipe. So, but not only that, we're gonna need to actually probably make a bunch of coal too, because I think the ironworks might be out of coal too. So we could probably use this train to go get that, because if it made it here, as long as it makes it back, then I know that this whole train, the way I got it set up, should be able to work. But before I do that, I'm probably gonna fill it up with raw iron, so which would mean I'd have to get, I got the cars down there, I just gotta bring like the Betsy down there or something, just something enough to move it forward to get it loaded so it's like ready to go. I think that might be what I do. I might have to make, like a place to store like a Betsy or, some sort of small engine. Maybe even a Shay or something like that. But I'm just going to use that for when we have to fill stuff, So that'd be alright. Okay, so now we're going to start our journey here. Hopefully this train does not derail, because that, I have a regular, like out of the regular, I guess you could say, we got regular stock and I got some of the newer stock, so, I'm hoping, nothing goes bad. I could be wrong. I'm just kind of like, I don't really know if that's going to work or not. But if we, do run into the problems, like, it derails for some stupid reason, then we know that we got two problems. Either one, we just need to, like, make the track a little bit better in the corner or whatever, wherever it derails. Or 2, it derailed because I built the track a little bit too funky and it still needs to be rebuilt anyway. So that's what I'm going to go with, is it might need to be rebuilt. What point, what time, I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. But it's that, you know, I don't know if we're gonna ever get there someday. You know, it's whatever. But we're getting our railroad is getting better, like the track at least. It's just I designed it first and then just made it kind of where it would work, and then now I gotta go through and kind of rebuild a bunch of track. But it's the nature of the beast, I guess. You know. You build it just so you can get up and operational, start running, making money, and then you go, okay, well, now I gotta fix this, now I gotta fix that, now I have to fix X, Y, Z. So, you know, hopefully, it works out to where it'll be fine. But who knows? I could be wrong. And everything could fall apart and start breaking. Who knows? I just hope that this train gets there with no problems, no derails at least. Then that'll at least admit that I did at least some of the track right. There is some sections in here, at least coming up this way to the iron mine, which I'm still gonna have to figure out one of these days. But we're gonna get to that point to where I can actually run it this way. But yeah, we just have to make sure that we don't derail because I'm too close to the mountain or something, but that'll be fine. We'll rebuild it. It's just gonna take me some time to figure out how I want to rebuild it. But for now, if it's working and we just kind of gotta watch it a little bit, then I'm okay with that too. So hopefully we can finish it. So basically what we've got left is basically get down off this mountain, go all the way back to the smelter, drop this off at the smelter, see how much raw iron I've, you know, pretty much made, because I got some core wood already in it. So I'm thinking we should be able to make enough to maybe make a run. Maybe. I might just bring the Betsy down like I was trying to say, and, you know, build like a little shed, you know. Just use like one of the barns, you know, we'll have a lane or two extra and I can build it. See, I left that section where you would typically load and unload cars. You know, I left that kind of not all the way built out. So I might build a shed, but I might also have to build it like a two-way, well, maybe not a two-way, but I have to put one switch down first so that we at least have straight, you know, coming into the switch piece of track, and then after that we'll lay another switch, and then we could build like a little barn. Or I could use a three-way and basically have an extra lane to like store cars down there. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking that might be what I try to do at some point. Like I did here, I left, you know, an extra lane if I wanted to store some cars, you know, before the iron mine. But we've never had to do that yet, but if we had to, we could. That's why I left it there. But I'm not really sure, like, what I'm gonna do with that. Like, if I'm going to, at the smelter, just, you know, put Betsy down there, and then basically just use it like when I'm filling up cars in the one section, right? That aren't, like, attached to a train already. Like, basically leave my cars parked in such a way that I can get Betsy in behind it, link up, and then fill them all up, and then set them out. Still have them on that main line, but then just put Betsy back in the shed when I'm done, you know? That should work. You know, it's like I was saying, it's either going to be a Shay or a Betsy or something. Like, I need just something just to move the cars around. But for stuff like this, going up this mountain, I might just need a bigger train, too. Because I'm thinking that maybe This one doesn't have a lot of, climbing ability, and I didn't really think that was going to be much of an issue, but it might. And I could also, another option is just to try to relay the track with, like, no elevation change, and then just lay it at, like, one set thing. I guess I could retry that, too, but I don't know if I'm going to do that right away, but I guess, possibilities. That's probably what I could do. Because right here is where I have some problems, but I have problems sometimes even getting up to this bridge that we're gonna cross, so kind of like, what do I do? Do I rebuild all the way up to the bridge? Do I take the bridge out and then just replace it with something else? Like, what do I do here, I guess? Because as you can see, it's just two of them, just a couple bridges tied together here, with another bridge. So it's kind of like, do I just lay that all one straight section? Because as you can see, it, dips down. And I don't know if maybe just making that all one, steady grade, where it's pretty much, even as you can get. Maybe if that would, make it better. Probably would. I don't know, like, if that would work at all, to keep, everything good to go. So, that might be an option, I guess. I just don't know if that's going to be an option for me, because then that means I got to rebuild pretty much the whole entire line. I mean, it's an option, it's just not an option that I want to do right now. But we'll see, maybe here, maybe next episode or so, maybe we'll work on that, I don't know. But we'll figure that out, I guess, as we go. Okay, so, since we're getting through this mountain pretty easy, it looks like it's gonna go okay. Us getting around, like, all the mountains is pretty easy, and everything seems to be going pretty well. It's just the fact that it takes me a minute to try to figure out, if this turn is gonna, like, try to derail my train or not, But I think I might end up just relaying this whole track. I mean, where I got it coming in to the iron mine is fine. Like, that track is generally okay. There might be some pieces in there I might have to, try to see if I can move. But, it'd be fine. Yeah, I think that's honestly probably the best way to do it, is just redo the whole track leading up to here. But just do it, like, with bridge or something. Like, it's not really gonna matter. It's not... I tried the stone wall, like you can see here, and I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do in certain places. Like, I couldn't get it to link, so I had to, like... They give it, like, some S-curve kind of, like, squiggly lines, but I didn't really want it to do that, but it did it anyway. So now, I gotta go back... Probably next episode, I might do that, where we repair a bunch of track, just on the simple fact that we're gonna have to, regardless. I mean, it's just the easiest route to do, just repair the whole thing, start from scratch, and then you have no problems, I guess. But yeah, there are, like, certain parts that I will not rebuild. Like, where you come into the iron mine, the main, where you come off, where you can split off to go to the coal, or the iron, those two right there, lines are pretty good. They're set pretty good, I like them where they're at. I mean, I don't see a reason that we would need to move them, do anything down at that end. It's just majority between where that is all the way going up to the mine itself. So I think what I might do, I know it's gonna sound stupid, is I might just build it out a bridge and then just let the bridge have, like, we won't change the elevation or anything. We'll just leave it one constant grade and see if that will, gets rid of a lot of the problems that I'm having. Because some of it is, it's like, shakes the whole train side to side pretty hard, so. I don't know, we might have to end up doing that next episode, just to see. I mean, it doesn't matter to me, but I kind of want to see if we can get this fixed to where, I can run big trains up here, no problem, So, yeah, I think I might do that. Just use this train as, like, the guinea pig. But, other than that, I don't think there's going to be much I can do for it. So, I have to wait and see. Alright, so it looks like we might be getting to the end. Where we gotta go for this little run here. Because we should be getting, close to where the switch is. So where you would switch off to either go to the iron mine or coal mine, that little switch right there. Should be coming up too. Just the way that I have this laid, I can tell you that's probably where we're gonna be going. I don't know how close we are to it, but yeah, we're getting there. But it's just, is it gonna be alright when we get to that corner with that car? I mean, it was fine going up, but, it's gonna be, good coming down because it's got all the iron in it now. So it should be fine, but whoever knows. But it does look like we're going in an okay direction. And it's not really, trying to derail, so we should be alright. And then that would be the next thing I gotta figure out is if, maybe we might think about building like a town out here a little bit. Just between like the mining towns, like right here, I thought about doing that, I don't really know if I really want to do all that right now. But I mean, I'd build like a little, town. Maybe a couple houses and stuff like that, but I don't know if I really want to do that just quite yet. I might do that, not right now, that might be in future plans. But for right now, we gotta just get this iron delivered and then be on our way. It's just gonna take us forever to get back up to speed because we have a heck of a lot of iron with us. But, that's to be kind of expected. I'm just trying to right now let it coast as much as I can so that it doesn't, when I really, have to give it more, throttle, or it doesn't really want to, do anything weird, or tip over, or derail, or do anything like that. It's one of those things where you try not to get it to derail. So, looks like we are doing pretty good though. Just might take us a little bit more extra time because I'm going to try to take them easy through these hills. As best I can. I don't have to. Without using a lot of fuel. Sometimes I just want to get a lot of fun. Sometimes you just don't want to. This is one of those times that
girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
it doesn't have a whole lot of braking at the moment. So what I do is just try to get it up to at least coasting speed for a little bit. Down at the end.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their
Take a while for it to stop. Just have to take it easy and get up here on this. We don't pull over. Okay, so yeah, pretty much around there, no problem. It looks like we're doing pretty okay. At least from what I can understand, anyway. It's just gonna be, we wait for the train's brakes to eventually kick in. Once we pass the switch, we'll kick the brake on. Hopefully it will stop. You know, it might take some time for it to, you know, stop at some point, but... Yeah, hit the brake, but it's not wanting to turn on. Why do you not? Okay. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't want to stop, so... It'll be alright though, because I just gotta wait. That train will be stopped by the time I get back to it. I'll go ahead and flick the switch in. I do mean in to the smelter, so it should be good there. I don't see any problem, you know. Now we can go all the way full forward, full regulator, no brake. Yeah, it's just it just weighs probably a heck of a ton right now. But I could just imagine, you know, having the same amount of, you know, it's gonna weigh about the same with coal or iron or anything. But I'm just imagining, like, if I go to do, like, coal with this train, it's gonna be a minute. But this will, you know, should be able to also come back up this hill, too. Which I think it will. Probably pretty easy because they're empties. It's not really gonna matter too much. It's not gonna be too critical, I wouldn't think, but you never know. I know coming down it like without any brakes is gonna be really hard to do. But well, luckily we still have some brakes, so I think what we'll do is we'll just coast it as much as we can down the hill. At least till it picks up too much speed. Then at which point we put the brakes on. You know, hopefully, you know, this will be an easy run. But it's so far being somewhat of an easy run, but also being like a pain. But I also think that there might be a break somewhere. But, you know. That's kind of like what I thought was going to happen with this train anyway, is like sometimes, you know, once you get down to the bottom, which we did, pretty easy. It's just I didn't feel like stopping at the end, so. I hope it doesn't derail this time. There's a pain in the butt coming down. So it's kind of a good thing, I guess. I put a little thing at the end of this rail. I think about maybe making this where it has maybe a barn or shed, whatever you want to call it, but where we'll have an engine shed and then have like 1 or 2 engines down here all the time. Like some of these places though, it's like you do need like the extra storage sheds, you need the extra, trains, but it's just kind of an idea that I got right now. It would work. Yeah. It's just I gotta get a lot more train money so that we can make that work. It's just getting to that point. But, it's getting there. It just... Sometimes this train just doesn't want to get up to speed, so... Should be alright once we get up to speed here. There we go. Just really didn't want to go for some reason. But it's okay, we got that now fixed. I think I'm gonna try to get the big car unloaded and one of the small cars. At least so that way it can still make raw iron. As we're, going backwards and unloading the rest of them, that's how I want to do it. Maybe that'll work that way, I don't know. Never tried, these cars plus the old stock. The old and the new stock at the same time. I've never tried it, so this is a big first for me. So I hope, we can actually put this to use and actually, then maybe haul some coal. First I gotta probably go up there, see what I need and what it's down on to make the coal. So probably needs more beams, I would imagine, but I can't remember. It's been a minute since I've been up there. Alright, we should be just getting the first couple of cars in the unloaded. I would try for 3 usually to unload, but because I have like the extra big car plus, the small ones, I think I'm just gonna aim to get even just 2 unloaded is fine with me. So, it's time to start saving up some train money, I can tell you that. Alright, there we go. This one should, I think, unload right where we're at. Well, I'm getting paid for it, so yeah, I guess it's working. That one's unloaded, that's unloaded, so now we just gotta get back here with 3 cars to unload. That's gonna be the easy part. It should be pretty easy, I would imagine. We just then at that point, gotta go around and check also to see how much raw iron and rails we have. I think I might be able to find a way, to make the coal net for next time, and then this should make a bunch, and I mean a bunch of raw iron, I hope, or at least enough to fill the cars that I have for a run. That would be nice. But I don't know how many, we're gonna end up with. So that's why I'm gonna unload these 3. Then we'll see, where we're at in the back. Probably gonna need more iron too at some point, I guess. So, but you know what? I kind of like the way that this, works with this train. We got one big car and the rest of the small ones, so. But it does kind of help, so you can see what car you're unloading, I guess. That one's unloaded, that one's getting unloaded, and that one's getting unloaded. So we should be, what, almost near 2. Dang, that is unfortunate. I guess we'll go down here while we're down here anyway and see what we got. We got like a bunch of rail, 2 stacks and some. So it's good enough for me. I wouldn't think that, I'd have to do that, but who knows? So looks like everything went the way it was supposed to. I will see you all next time.